Hello everyone, this is Ginger Pana here on YouTube. I wanted to do another series. I know I started a series last year called my wedding series and I miserably failed because I only uploaded a few videos, but I'm going to try to load some things in there that I might want to share, although it's a year old. My son got married last year, for those of you who follow me, almost a year ago. This month, at the end of the month, will be 1 year. So, lo and behold, my son and my daughter in law are expecting their second child. So, I am having a baby shower for them, which is next month. So, I have about a month to get everything in together. I just finished the invitations and it's all mailed out. And so I wanted to do this video to kind of share my invitations and maybe give you some ideas of things that you could make if you had a invitation or an announcement to do. So I hope this will inspire you. The theme is, of course, they're having, not sorry, of course, but they found out they're having a baby boy. So it'll be my second grandson. And the theme of the shower is elephants. And for those of you who don't know the story, when my son and daughter-in-law found out they were pregnant and they took their first ultrasound, the imagery in these days is so good. It's like a 3D imagery. It kind of, it's just like, wow. I never had that when I was pregnant with my kids. But anyways, the fetus looked like a little peanut. So the other grandma said, "Hey, this is baby peanut." So baby peanut stuck to this day. Even my grandson says, "Hey, Gigi, that's me." Are all of these things for baby peanut? So that's how we got elephants and peanuts. So long story short, let's get right into my invitations. So I just have these cutouts here just so that um, it gave you something to look at while I speak. Here is the final invitation and how it looked like. It took me many weeks and uh, meetings with my friend who's also crafty, and meetings, shares with inspiration from a local stamp shop that I visit to finally get to where I am today. So I knew what I wanted the card layout to be. This was the hardest, the cover. Okay, so I'm going to pull out the things that I used as I talk about it. But this is a open card, like a regular greeting card. And here's the back. I need to get a stamp or something to show that I made it. They don't have them on that. Shame on me. And then everything's tacked down. I did cover the personal information, okay, because I just want to keep it private for now. Okay, so, and here is a pocket that I made, and this is a very simple pocket, and I just used I gave uh, I think it was an eighth of an inch or quarter of an inch tab on the sides, which I folded over, and it made the pocket. I rounded the corners here, and I left this side open because if I tacked it down, it would have been too bulky, and my cards might not fit in here. Okay, so it's kind of let's go through the inside before we go through the outside. This is basil paper. It's this baby blue color. So it's kind of textured. It's not shiny or anything. It's just cardstock, but it's textured if you know the basil paper. This is a background paper that I found at my local craft store. I'm not sure what the brand is. I would have to look for the information. But it's baby pins and it came in the perfect blue color. This download I purchased off of Etsy, and if you Google baby elephants, a whole slew comes out, and this came in a set with a invitation, an RSVP. They had a diaper raffle ticket and books for baby. So I downloaded it and I typed in the text of what I wanted. So isn't he so cute? So perfect, an elephant sitting in a peanut. Okay, so that's my son, my daughter-in-law, and my grandson. So it's kind of a co-ed because it's the families from both sides that are coming to the shower. It's not a secret, so my son, they all know. And then this side, I couldn't fit, other than the information of where it's going to be held at, I couldn't fit in the registry. And I guess nowadays you need the link, so I had to type out the whole link. So I decided to, thanks to my friend, she suggested maybe um, cutting it out and gluing it to this front of this pocket. So that worked out perfect. Okay, and then the first thing that goes in is the RSVP card. Okay, and I covered it up because there are our names and emails on it of who to call from both sides of the family. So that would go in this way. And then the next one would be this Books for Baby. So my friend that I made the hot air balloon, she did a books for the babies, and they had twins. So books for the babies. So everyone would bring a book. The person who brought it would write a note inside of the book cover and put it in a basket. And I thought that was a really good idea. And so it's all over the internet too. So I'm lifting that idea up. So it's not my idea. So this is what it says. Okay, so I kind of reworded it from what the template had, just slightly. Okay, so that would go in here. Now I printed all of this on cardstock, and I cut them all out. They printed on my printer 4 to a page. So I printed it, cut it, and then if you can tell, I colored all the edges with a blue ink, and I used the Distress Oxide tumbled glass. Okay, so I did it on all these cards. I did it on the invitation, and I did it on the pin background paper. So it took me a while to do all of that. And last but not least is this Diaper raffle ticket. So if you bring this ticket and a package of diapers any size, you may just win a wonderful prize. And so when the guests bring their packs of diapers, and it's optional, they put their name on this ticket, and I have a box and they can slip it in there. And so during the shower, we will pick a name, a winner. I'm not sure what the prizes are yet, but I'll share that on the day of the shower, or maybe a wrap up of my series. Okay, so when you close it, this is the cover, and I went back and forth with many designs, but this is what I came up with. So it's just a basil paper, the front, so it's just a blank slate that I worked on. I bought this invitation cost me a lot of money. So the Lawn Fawn's custom craft dies, I bought sorry for the glare, but if, as you can see, it's upside down. But these are little raindrops, so it's kind of like a plate, and it is called, I don't know what it's called, but there is the item number. Okay, so I cut this out of the gray paper, and then I inked the edges. Okay, so this kind of made it the shower look, so I didn't have to have the words like "you're invited to a baby shower." I left that part out. I just fit the "you're invited" on the cloud. The clouds come also from Lawn Fawn, and I bought 2 sets. So one is a stitch cloud frame. Okay, so where it'll cut out the clouds, and if you can see, it double cuts it, and the inside is the stitched. And I think they made it to work with the cloud stackables, and this goes on the outside in stitch cloud stackables. So this part would be the, let's see, the background, so you can kind of use it to make shakers. Okay, so I cut one of each of the small clouds, and then I layered it. So I don't know if you can tell, but there is a back and a front that I glued together. I inked all the edges, and I'll talk to you a little bit about the foam. This one, I lifted it up on Fun Foam. I got the image. Let's see if I have any. Sorry. Sorry. Okay, well, I don't. So anyways, this is the fun foam that I cut out. So I used my Misty. This was my best friend for my project. So what I did was I put the cloud right here in the corner and flush, because this bottom is straight. So as long as I had it flushed, and I put my magnets to hold the paper in, and then I used the stamp set from Tailored Expressions, and I used You're Invited, this one. Okay, so then I would get this and I would line it up right so that it's in the middle of the opening of my cloud, and of course you close it and then you just keep stamping it. So I never had to move my stamp. Every time I stamped, I used the Stampin' Up! Basic Gray. So I think I did like about 3 impressions to get it to be really dark and nice, because it's a gray. And it does go over the little stitched edges, but because I impressed it 3 times, it was very clear. Okay, so I did that with my Misty. And then this blue background represents like a water puddle, and it kind of brought the blue. And this is another basil paper, and it's very glittery or shiny. It has a finish on it. I love that paper. I used, and I forgot, oops, I forgot which company this is from. For the life of me, I can't remember. But it was one of those well-named, well-known dye company. Okay, so it came with 4 pieces, and it kind of looked like a peanut shape, which the girl who helped me at the store pointed out, so I bought it. And I was going to use the big one here and use it as a back, but I decided to use it as a puddle. I brought in the umbrella, which is from a stamp set that I got. I think this was from HSN. I believe I bought a whole set of different dies and stamps and paper. So this was the umbrella, and I think it's from Nature's Garden, Crafter's Companion. Okay, so I used that umbrella in the stamp. So then I got another background paper, which are polka dots. And here it is. It's called The Goods. That's the name of the pattern, I think. And I'm not sure what the brand is. But see, it was this background paper. And so I used the umbrella die and I cut out all the umbrellas. And then I lined it up with my Misty. Actually, I didn't. I used a stamping block, which looked like this. And I put the umbrella on it. So when I die cut this out, I went and I just stamped it like this. Because when I did it the other way around, this cane part of the umbrella kept moving. So it was faster for me to cut it out and then stamp it. Okay, so I did that. The elephants are from, I think, Pretty Pink Posh. Okay, and I think Mama Elephant has a very similar elephant stamp. So I purchased the clear stamps, the photopolymer. Oh, I can never find the names. Oh, here. Elephant Friends. And I purchased the matching die set. Okay, so the only 2 elephants I used was this Mama and Baby and this one. No, wait, not this one. This one. Because I was going to use this one. That's why it looks kind of dark. But holding the balloon. But I decided not to. So I did this and this. So I told my son and my daughter-in-law, if my other grandson sees this and he's thinking he got left out, well, he didn't, because this is my son, the daddy, the mama, and this is my grandson now, Graydon, and because the baby is still in mommy's stomach, so that's why there are 3 elephants in the umbrella. Okay, so after I cut out the umbrella, I stamped all of the elephants on my Misty, and I used watercolor paper. Thank you, Shirley. So, because I had a really hard time coloring, so I stamped it on the watercolor paper, and then I just colored, and then I cut with the dies, and that took the longest because I had to do a lot. And so I did that, and after I cut out the individual elephants, I I don't have any. I used everything. I just cut just enough because it was so tedious. So here, I found one. Oh yeah, I did have because you saw me. Okay, so this, pretend this is my stamped umbrella. So I glued this elephant like this, and I glued this elephant like this. So I glued it like this, and then I stuck it down on here at an sort of an angle. Okay, so that's how I got right here. Okay, now making a long story short, I took one sample which was lifted like this on not this kind of foam, but on all the Dollar Tree. I bought all the what do you call these, adhesive squares, and so I popped them all up in the back of my image. Okay, and then I put the invitation in an envelope, and then I took the whole thing to my post office, and I asked the postman, can I buy stamps to mail all these invitations out? So he comes, and he's my friend. I go to the post office gazillion times. I should own stocks in it. I should get a special rate, but I don't. But so I'm kind of familiar with a lot of their rules, but I did not know this one. I kind of did, but I didn't. So he goes and he goes, wow, it's kind of bulky. What is it? So I said, well, it's an invitation. It's just that it's dimensional. So he says, well, the base is about 70 cents. And then we're going to have to add 15 cents because it's, you know, stiff. It has to be processed by hand. And then he brought out this plastic board, much bigger than this. This is my makeshift. So he says, you know, the board was pretty big and it was a plexiglass. And it had all kind of markings on it. And in the plexiglass, there was a 1/4 inch slit in it. So then he grabs the plexiglass and he shoves my, not shoves it, but he puts my invitation through, and it goes all the way through except right at the end, and it hung. Okay, so unless he pushed it through, it wouldn't go through. So it was, oh, he said it didn't fit, so it's gonna be parcel post. So each one will be $3.80 to mail, and I'm like, what? So hence my panic. I came home and I made myself a template. I'm telling my husband, look, it goes right through. And he goes, you are, well, I am so smart that plexiglass is thick and solid. So it's a big difference from making a paper template. Duh. Okay, so that, scratch that idea. So I took off, I did another one. And then I used the fun foam, which is where these came in, thinking that the cutter would smash it, and I could put it in the back of my image and I would have no problem sending it through the 1/4 inch slot. But it was the same size as my foam dots. Okay, so little bit, but almost the same. Scratch that idea. So I made half with the foam and half flat, which is this one, but this is my boo-boo sample because the eyes, I smeared the eyes. So without the foam, it went right through, and it cost me 70 cents to mail, which is still a lot, but I'm so happy because all the work I put into it, I was very depressed. So all the ones that I mailed, they are not popped up, but they look just as pretty. It bothered me because I really liked the dimension. It gave the image of the elephants floating in the puddle, in the umbrella, and the cloud in the sky, and it's all fluffy. And so I was really sad. But this sufficed, and I got it all out, and they're all done, and I just have to wait for RSVPs. But I just wanted to come and share my invitation and all the drama that I had with these guys. But it was all worth it because I love the way it came out. Did I forget anything else? I used the Ranger Archival ink to do the um, elephants and the umbrella so that I could go and color it. These I colored with my Copics. So I used, I think, I used three different, so I started out with these colors and then something went wrong and I had to switch out my T1s for my T3. Okay, So I just made it simple. There was no blending because I really didn't have time. And I think that's it. I used my Old Faithful art glitter glue for everything. I glued everything. Um, I think in looking in my bucket, I don't have anything else to share about this invitation. So, without further ado, please stay tuned. I am hopefully going to have time to share all the things that I made. I did, well, never mind, I'll save that for another video. So, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you listening to me babble on, and I hope this inspires you somehow. And I am excited, and I will see you all soon. Thank you so much, all my new subbies, my old subbies. I really appreciate all of you. Aloha, bye, love you.